nice, she loved that. I mixed the blueberry pie. It's not what I wear, it's how I rock that. If I can buy that twice, I'll cop that. Sweet 110, spot that, chop that. Tryna lock me, I had to tell her it's not that. It's not for the he say, she say. Getting no delay, run it like relay, bro. You ain't got it like this. In my part C straight, big fur jacket from eBay, looking timeless. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate. Everyone scream next up, but I'm the #1 candidate. I'm a #1 like you say. Used to kick ball on the estate back then. T90s with the Levi's matching. Rips in the denim, that's classic. These beats get wrapped like Futamaki, that's a sushi roll. I'm a young CEO, gotta do as you're told. Gotta act your stat, gotta play your role. I was OT, all shutting down shows from A to B, long way to go. About time they know about me. Hello, the jiggle and clap, jello. I've been on top, where they at? Below, presidential flow, Marilyn Monroe. I got pounds, got euros, stacking them both. I'll split. Do the he say, she say, getting no delay, run it like relay, bro. You ain't got it like this. In my part C straight, big fur jacket from eBay, looking timeless. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate.
It's a picturesque afternoon for football in the Northeast, and EA Sports comes to you from MetLife Stadium, just across the Hudson River from New York City. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here, as it'll be the New York Jets and their inner-city rivals, the New York Giants. Darnay Holmes now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Now the NFC's leading rusher a season ago. Here's Saquon Barkley. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Second down, here's Barkley again. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. The Giants now at 2-5 to start play. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. You talk about this Jets defense. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9. Throwing Jones. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Calling a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said
this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
This is 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Barkley. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Barkley going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Trying to finish off this opening drive from the 3. This is 3rd and goal. The slot man in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Isaiah Hodgins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Oh, did the Jets miss this guy? Here's Bruce Hall. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. You talk about this Giant defense. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass, because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. His throw incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Here's Jackson to return. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. Breaks through the contact. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Again, it's Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Quick right, quick right, quick right.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 43-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Jones will sneak it, and he will have a Giants first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the 42-yard line.
Detroit Johnson.
Now Jones. And this is into the hands of Campbell downfield. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Paris Campbell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants go up by 2 touchdowns. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced to punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides are playing at optimum level.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Rodgers. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Yeah, he'll find Hall. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Here's Jackson. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now. It's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll go to Barkley again. Fighting through. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. Touchdown. Giants. Saquon Barkley with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Gano the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2nd and 10.
Throwing is Rodgers.
On the out route, he completes it to Hall.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
And it's 3rd down.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, try to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. In this case, he picks up a first down.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Rodgers to throw once more.
That is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Now it's Rodgers.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
He's dropped just inside the 20. A little second effort there, but couldn't find a whole lot of space. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
They'll run with Hall.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. On play action, it's Rodgers. Sliding out of the pocket. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
This is 3rd and goal. And this Giants defense, they have withstood the test thus far. To throw, it's Rodgers. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin from 3 yards out.
And the Jets get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Zerline good with a PAT. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Holmes returning from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive.
Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Now Jones going to change it up here.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And not much happening there as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Rodgers now to throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. And they're going to speed things up here. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
That was well played, but that's also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
With it is Jackson. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Second down, here's Barkley again. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs him up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on third down. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. That one deep for Hodgins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Here's Jamie Gillen now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 33. 39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The Jets offense ready to go in this battle of New York. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup of 38.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Oh, one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Jets have got it back to within a score. Zerline connects on the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Holmes returning from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle but then quickly brought down. The tackle by Quincy Williams.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Bama, Bama, Bama.
Off play action. Jones. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game. and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And the Jets will take over. The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with a start.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Shotgun now for Rodgers.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he's got it. Touchdown, Jets.
Ryan Knoll from 4 yards out. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. Holmes returning from his end zone.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Throwing Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. 69 yards on the ground for him so far.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
On the sneak, Rodgers. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only second down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up third down.
They'll try to run with Hall. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Jets have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the fourth. Zerline good with a PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead.
Giants 21.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Holmes returning from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now Jones. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one.
Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis.
Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
At the 40-yard line.
Here's Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Trying to get a big strike right there and hopefully tie this game up in the late going. But the coverage was there, and this winds up incomplete.
On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. So on now is Greg Zuerlein in a pressure situation. This to make it a 2-score game. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They begin with a run by Barkley.
They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Second down, 8 yards to go. To throw on 2nd down, Jones flushed out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is caught at the 10-yard line.
Yes, down by a touchdown. They needed a big play here quickly, and they got one. And now, plenty of time. No need to panic, but you do need to move quickly.
Now 1st and goal. They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another try for Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, you get about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
This is 3rd and goal. Now Jones. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Detroit. Detroit Johnson.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
Oh, a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Gano now to add the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as it kicks away here. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. This is 1st and 10.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty.
Penalties not what they needed here. 1st and 15.
Back to throw, Rodgers.
And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here comes 2nd down.
Rodgers to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here 1st down.
Now Rodgers. And the giant rush gets home. He's down
Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback.
And we've got 3 football, 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this time. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Escaping the pressure right, and he'll just get rid of it.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on 2nd down.
Now Rodgers. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 44-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throwing now is Rodgers.
And check down, complete to Hall.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. But I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. From the gun, it's Rodgers. That's going to be caught. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.